Hello everyone, my name is K-Hug, you can call me Kyler, and welcome to, or welcome back to, the Season 2 Let's Play Minecraft Survival series. Whether you're a long-time subscriber or just stumbled in here, I want to thank you for all of your support, so hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, share with your friends, and leave some kind words in the comments down below. I also want to take a brief moment to mention that community Discord, so head down below to the description or to my channel and join that today. A safe, friendly space for us to share ideas, content, and even spend some time together chatting and playing Minecraft. Alright, it's time to get straight into today's video. Well, we are jumping right into things where we left off last time. That is because we had just got done finishing the Hall of All Nether portal, in addition to the Ancient City Nether portal. And thank you for all of the support and the kind words about the ancient debris of a skulk dripping in through this portal. I think it added a pretty good character, and it's very evident where this definitely heads to. But yeah, that's not what we're going to work on today. Well, it's done. But we're going to work on finally getting back to this biodome, the area that we started many weeks ago. I think actually within the first 10 or maybe 15 episodes, and they just kind of left it sitting and still ever since, kind of stagnant. So I'm going to go ahead and get back into the design of this. We did this little portion here last time on camera, just trying to describe how this greenery is going to arch its way up the inner walls here of our dome, you know, once we get rid of these areas. And I additionally want to put some pathwork in here. We are updating the way the pathwork is now, which currently is just half slabs to prevent these guys from spawning. And candidly, I hope they don't spawn in here regardless. I think they're probably going to, unfortunately. But I'd like to be able to come in here and not have to wear gold just so these guys don't get upset about it. But we'll have to discover that when it comes. I've got some issues here. Do I have any blocks in my inventory? I don't have any blocks in my inventory. I have some coarse dirt. That's not going to go there. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and clear out the rest of these half slabs and get to work on the floor first. But it looks like we need to do a little bit of resourcing. Candidly, I thought I had the stuff to get going this episode, but it appears that we're going to head out and grab a ton of a grass block. We could use regular dirt, and I do have tons of regular dirt. But honestly don't want to wait for all of this to grow up or turn into grass blocks. So what I'm going to do is go head out, grab our Silk Touch shovel, and we're going to gather a bunch of dirt to bring in here. I think this looks like a nice spot. We're far enough away from base that I don't have to worry about this interrupting any builds, but close enough that we don't have to travel too far. So I'm going to go ahead and collect as much grass as I can. Now, it should probably only take 10 or so stacks, but I'm going to go ahead and fill my inventory so we've got plenty to work with, and then we'll head back into the nether. So we got about, 10, maybe a dozen stacks of grass, a couple of the coarse dirt that we're going to use for the path blocks, and now we have to get rid of all of the slabs in here so we can replace it with our dirt. It does seem really redundant, and it is unfortunate that we designed this with just slabs temporarily in the beginning, because now we have to reap and re-sow or dig them all out and put grass blocks back. But it won't take us too long, so let's go ahead, take out all of the slabs, and then we can start putting back the grass. And the last slab into a box. That was far more painful than I would like to admit. Cleaning slabs is just, it really is the worst. And now I'm kind of wondering to myself that we've got this all cleared out, and to not really change anything. Oh, I don't have enough glowstone in these corners over here. Gonna have to go get some glowstone real quick and finish up. Is that not lined up either? That's supposed to be in line there, which means that one should be here. Yeah, don't mind me, just fixing my errors. Okay. What is going on over here? Not even close. What was I thinking? Oh, this is awful. The horrendous things that we were finding beneath this floor. Oh, no, wait. That one is lined up. Oh, I got it. Okay. I didn't make a mistake. It's just because there's a 5-block gap here, a 5-block gap, and that's the filler. That makes sense. Okay. It just looks like, yeah, just looks weird with the corner pieces over there. And maybe it's this one that's wrong. Very well could be that this one is also totally in the wrong spot. Okay. Yeah. Don't mind me. We all make mistakes. I am not any less human than the rest of you, but that looks like everything is better. Is it better? Yeah. Okay, yes, it's symmetrical. All right. Okay, now I'm no longer losing my mind. I want to talk about these pillars. So before I was going to have these big pillars supporting in the four corners, kind of what was going to look like holding up this biosphere. But you know what? I really think this place would look so much better if we just, you know, did a little bit of this. Now that that's cleared out, I've got a few glowstone which will be able to integrate into that corner over there, depending on how we decide to light this up. So the glowstone was originally for the pathwork. I may keep these main beams, these main pathwork glowstone blocks. But when it comes to actually putting in more light, I've added in some textured light. And by textured light, I mean there's just some torches hidden beneath some staircases in here. And I think there's even torches beneath some of these green wool blocks. So I'm not really concerned about light, and we could light it up more as we get into this. But what I want to do now is, I guess, for the time being, let's go ahead and work on the 4 pathways. One over to the crafting stations, one over to this guy here, and then the third one over to that wall, which eventually, I think, is going to become the main entrance. I was actually going to have the... I was going to have the main entrance be here on a diagonal, just because we were running that way, but I might go ahead and make everything symmetrical and have a nice little tunnel that leads out from the side here. We'll decide. That was really strange. We'll decide that at a later time, but I just wanted to put that out there as I think through that. So it's time for grass, which means we need to go over to our chest over here and grab a couple stacks. Well, you know what? We'll just grab 4 stacks. I like to fill up to the brim, a 1 column, I guess, of grass. And then I also want to grab out of this box, I've got a bunch of wood stuff. And this is just going to be to help permeate that light through. Much like I did over here, or I do on most of the builds, is I've got some weird texture like dip downs here. And there is light sources beneath these. It's actually the exact same ones as over there because I just used the stuff that was already in place to make this path work over here. Also, this is not necessary. I think I got a little carried away because technically... No, I like that one there. Technically, the path is where these blocks are at. So the path comes this way, dips down, will connect to this path here that goes over there. It's going to be pretty interesting the way all this is going to lay out. So I just got to make sure that I don't get too carried away by having, you know, course over here wouldn't make any sense because it's not part of the path. And we've got a hole. We've got a hole. There we go. That's what you do with that. Okay, and it is time for us to go ahead. Oh, same thing with the wood. You don't want to oversell the wood. I think before I was kind of concerned about what the limits were going to be, but now that I kind of know the process of what I'm going to do, we can fill a lot of this in. Now, the other thing you have to decide before getting started on something like this is, do you want any mounds or any dips? So I did this little dip here behind me after the fact. Wish I would have done before, but I wouldn't mind having some other elevation changes. So I'm thinking about putting a little hill. Maybe only 1, maybe 2 blocks into this corner, and then everything else over there will be flat. So we've got like a dip here, a little bit of a mounded region there, and then everything else will be pretty flat because this is all that has, you know, the crafting tables, the furnaces, and then also the trading piglin trader over here that we don't want any hills or mounds around this. So... oh, I might even dip this down one, if I'm being real honest. This might be another low point. But without further ado, let me go ahead and flesh out just some of these flat regions, and then we'll work on like the mound over there behind me together. I have unfortunately ran out of grass blocks. You can see just how far we've got. I filled in this, added a low point in here, which is kind of weird because I have this one. So we'll see if I decide to keep this connected or get rid of this little berm in here. But then I've also created a low point around the portal thing here, or I've attempted to, and outlined where kind of the rest of this needs to be filled in up to 1 layer. Now that just goes to show you what 10 to 12 stacks of grass blocks gets you, and it's not a whole lot. So what we're going to have to do is we can actually reclaim some of this by working on these pathways, just like this. These will be coarse dirt and oak stairs and such. So let's go ahead and start working on a path block heading, or a walkway heading over to the piglin trading and then connecting this one in. And this is super simple, or at least can be super simple, depends on how hard you make it on yourself, by just simply adding in some textures like this. Nothing too fancy or too out of control. You just want to make sure that you have enough. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Of all the blocks that you select, blocks that you want, And I'm using the dirt to kind of symbolize where a path is. I will also go ahead and smooth out some of these into a path block. I don't use these as much because I'm not a huge fan, but I don't mind them. So we're just going to go ahead and clear out some pieces, keep some of the greenery, get rid of some of the greenery. You just kind of want to be random with your approach. And then I'm going to go ahead and actually add a few extra because I can path block these guys just like that. And we also want to make sure we keep tying in the wood throughout this. So maybe I'll throw in a couple like that. I'll throw in a solid one there. And then just kind of keep working that all the way over to the piglin trading thing. Well, I think that does a pretty good job at tying things in. I did get rid of this little finger here and just made this all one layer, but it all looks pretty good. I think it shows, well, you know what? This has got to go because that's not technically supposed to be part of the path. This is exactly what I was talking about. You want to keep the path blocks in the pathway. There was no reason for there to be a step up here to go to what? Nothing. And oh no, have we designed ourselves a mob spawn? That is not good. We went from having slabs to having spawnable blocks. So hopefully this area doesn't come or become too formidable. That was unnecessary. I have officially began creating a chest monster, including the other two right there behind me. But I have ran out of grass officially, and I've gotten a couple paths done, this one included. The one kind of headed towards that door, cleaned up some of the areas over there, but we are officially out of a regular grass block. So I'm going to head back into the overworld and grab some. We'll finish filling in this area, finish detailing this path, or just detailing the path work itself. And then we're going to add in a little bit of a hill right here, kind of over top of that guy's head, into this corner. And then we'll be able to finally reach out and start doing the wall detailings up to that layer there before all of this needs to be removed. Let's go get ourselves some grass so we can get back to work. The last block of grass has been placed, and I think we are officially finished with placing grass for some time. We're going to have to place some more later when we start terraforming the area with the decorative block, with the terracotta that we brought with. But for now, we are done with grass blocks and actually even dirt blocks. We do have a path that we're going to need to make, probably stemming from here. That kind of winds over and through into this tunnel here. That will help tie us into that. And oh goodness, everything in the world is spawning in here. I'm pretty sure I had, okay, you can go away, a giant magma cube potentially go into that portal, which means when we get back to the overworld, we're going to have our hands full. Hopefully that's not the case, but I guess we will find out. Now, that is all the grass work done, like I've said, and we've got to get some of this, unfortunately, all of this netherrack out of here, which is going to be quite the dig. So I don't have the ample time it's going to take to do that quite today. But what I can do is we can still get started on the first custom plant and how we're going to lay these out. I guess I will. Here, you guys are piglins. You guys want some pork chops? Did you want the pork chops? That's fine. You don't have to eat them. So what I've got in mind is maybe some big mushrooms, maybe some large oversized flowers, and then I want to add some like boxes, some little custom honeybee boxes around here, and we're just going to have a smorgasbord of bees in our nether area, our little biosphere here. Now, I got to figure out how we're going to encase this. Yeah, we got to get rid of these holes. How we're going to encase the nether portal, because all the bees, if they touch any of the purple, will just vamp back to the overworld. And, well, yeah, that seems to be, or is going to be a problem when it comes to this being our apiary. How we're going to resolve that, I have yet to decide, whether it's surrounding it in kind of the green glass maybe, and having just doorways for me to open and close to get in and out. I will figure that out in the long term, but for now, let's go ahead and gather some resources and get ready to build our first custom plant. Alright, well, I'm tired of going through this portal and of fighting mobs. It was so much better when this was slabs. This was never the case. This never occurred. Get away from me. goodness gracious me. And the gas blew up part of our pathway here. I guess is totally fine. We'll figure it out in the future. But we've got to figure out how to... Oof, definitely spawn-proof this place. It is starting to fill up with hostiles. Let's get started with our first custom tree, quote unquote. So what I'm going to do here is I want to have, in place of trees, we're going to try to go with like oversized mushrooms. Now I know that may be weird, and we will add some trees. I'm thinking if we can find some spindly styles trees, maybe by using fence posts. I'm going to figure out how to do that. I've got some workshopping to do, but for the time being, mushrooms are going to be our largest construct in this area. I think our first mushroom's actually going to go right here. Now, you got to bear with me because I don't know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm just kind of making it up on the fly. Hopefully it ends up being something pretty spectacular, but we've got to figure out how to get a mushroom plant that's going to kind of go... Let's think about this. If we come out of the Hall of Awe, I'd like to maybe see it from this direction. So the mushroom's going to kind of come up, it's going to bend, there's going to be a big cap up here, and then maybe it'll split and kind of have a cap like back over there, so may have to get rid of some of this. I know we said we'd clear this out, but we don't have time to do that right now. But in order to get started, I just need to start just placing some of these blocks down. We've got to keep a root system. Obviously, these mushrooms need to have something to spawn on, so we're just going to kind of spread out some roots here by using these slabs and stairs as like a rooted system. Okay, like that. Into some sort of stem. And then we're going to kind of go up and at an angle. And I'm trying to figure out how to size this to make it look right. And then I want to transition it and kind of gradient it from the bottom up. Let's also go ahead and grab maybe just two... Yeah, let's grab two slabs real quick as well, because that's gonna bother me knowing that that's totally exploded there. Pesky, pesky nether creatures. All right, the other thing I guess I just realized that I probably, or not that I probably, that I want to include, just because I can, and we've got a ton of it, is iron. That may sound weird, but I have a plan. Now, I'm gonna use the trapdoors more specifically. Let's grab just a few more maybe of those. And what I want to use these for is kind of to add more to our transition. Now, I'm not sure. Okay, so those place straight down. Is there a way to place a trap door open? Because I'd like that to be closed. All right, let's try to put a lever on there maybe. I've actually never done this before. A button's a bad idea. I need a lever. Grab a piece of that. Of course, I don't have a single stick on me, so we can go ahead and make a stick with our wood in our inventory. But let's make some sticks and a simple... Oh, is it cobblestone? Is my Minecraft knowledge we don't even need a crafting bench. All right, now we are prepared to put a lever somewhere. Okay, now if I break this... No. How am I going to keep that closed? Interesting. Interesting. Maybe we put a pin in the trapdoor situation, because I also want a trapdoor the other direction. So, right up there. And I want that one up and this one down to help kind of add texture. I'm not sure how to even do that. What if I do this now? Nothing. And if I put it here, just the one, and I can't put a lever on this. Interesting, interesting. Okay, maybe we skip the trapdoor idea altogether, or at least for now. I thought that was going to go way smoother in my mind. Unfortunately, I'm not the greatest at Minecraft knowledge. Okay, well, we're gonna put in a... This is great that you guys are here for this process. We are gonna throw in a random update or a new fresh idea. Let's get some scaffold out here, and we are gonna go ahead and just use a fence post instead. Hopefully that looks okay, because I need to mirror this backwards and upside down. So what I need is like a that, and then I need to stand on this and place that. Let me get down and see how that looks. Okay, well, you know what? It's not what I had pictured originally, but it doesn't look too shabby. Okay, that looks worse. That definitely looks worse. I want this to be separated. I really wish the trapdoors would fill in these little gaps here and there. Let's keep building and see how we like it as we go up. It is now time to switch over our resource block. We've got that ready here. We're just gonna go up maybe like a couple two more, maybe 3 perhaps. Let's stop there for the moment, and we're now gonna transition one more time into the diorite. Diorite is voted the ugliest block ever, but it's perfect for a build like this that doesn't really matter. It's used for a gradient, not as a pretty block. Okay, and we'll try that. I gotta get up top up here. I forgot. Come on. Come on. There we go. And maybe even a couple diorite just for separation. So 1, 2, nailed it. Let me go down real quick and get a good side profile of the stem. Okay, you know what? It's not terrible. And actually, I'm not even sure we need these on the backs. What do we think of that? Hold on, let me get rid of this other one real quick. What do we think of no backs? Okay, that looks much more stemmy. So the mushroom cap's gonna go right there, which is perfect because right now it is out of the way of this. But, there's a but. Yes, there's always a but when it comes to Minecraft, or at least me playing Minecraft, and that is because we have another stem that I want to kind of angle from here. Yeah, it's gonna end right there. And the reason I want to do this is because it looks just so one-dimensional with one stem, if that makes sense. And so by just heading in a different direction, we can help iron that out, or iron that out. We're not going to iron that out because iron trapdoors don't work. No, we're going to go ahead and head in a different direction and hopefully tie all this in. But we've got to decide where that's going to be. I think I want it to be even with this stair, but it's going to be that one. And so I want to go over. Maybe this is another use for these guys. Okay. Okay. Think this through. I have another plan. It's going to require this box. I don't know why we left this box over here. We'll grab this box. Let's try transitioning into maybe more of a smooth diorite. Okay, I don't know if I love that, but I don't hate it. I'm not set where this is going to go yet either. I think I would like all of this to kind of hang off here without having that weird thing there. How am I going to make that look attached to this build without any quirkiness? What if I... Slab doesn't do it. Okay. Lesson learned. What if I... Oh, another idea. Upside down diorite. What about right side up diorite? That looks more cohesive because of that one up there. And we're going to repeat the kind of the same process. So let me go ahead and get our upside down guy here. Put a temporary block. And just kind of pop that in there like that. And then we can continue up. We're going to need some more scaffolding in here. Oh, that's right. Our heads are on the ceiling. That's perfect. By perfect, I mean totally unfortunate. Yeah. We're going to clear this corner out. I'm not going to be having that today. Get out of here. Goodbye. As far as I can reach, I'm just getting rid of it all. There. At least now I don't have to worry about this little corner affecting me. So, we'll jump back over here like I originally planned to. We're going to place our uppy guy. We need another... Yep, another diorite fence. Jump and place that one. And now we're going to transition, same thing as we did here, to our upside down guy. And then we'll finish it off with another cap. And that's where the other... Oh, what is gone on here? What have I done here? I have deleted something that did not need deleted. All right, one more... You know what? I don't hate it. I'm not super in love. We get rid of the scaffold to pick up some of these junk bits that are just kind of laying around here. See, he's a little flat from his sides. I like to go to more of an angle, but it looks pretty good, really good from this angle. Those two stems look excellent from over here. Maybe we just only look at it from this angle. Let's head over to the other side here, and one more shot. You know what? It's not terrible. I do like the different gradients, having this be from smooth to rough, and this one's just kind of straight into the rough bits. I'm not hating it. I'm not hating it at all. So, with that said, these need little caps on top, and that is what the last block in this box is for. Let's get rid of all of our junk. And that is, we are going to decorate it with crimson as the main color here into a nice purple terracotta. Let's start off by putting a base down, and then we'll go to the terracotta just like that. Let's go ahead and scaffold up and work on the big one out front first. Let's eat real quick and head up there. So the first thing I want to do is start by just getting a general shape. I think I would like this thing to be pretty asymmetrical or not symmetrical at all. But in order to do that, we're going to have to build this out a little bit. And now I'm kind of struggling now thinking about it. How do you want to build this out? Well, what I think I'm going to do is I think I want to leave that, and then we'll have a little drop cap on the outside here. And that's going to work its way over. And then maybe even, let's work this down a layer. I know that seems bizarre. Let's get rid of that one. Oh, that's not going to work, huh? Let's try that again by putting a stair here. There we go. And then let's work this around. Okay, I kind of like where this is at. I want to get rid of that one and this one. That's as fine where it's at. Let's go ahead and actually reduce this by 1. And then this guy will be down like that. I'm kind of liking that. I'm liking the way that's looking. That's giving us kind of a swoop around. So the cap of this is kind of at an angle, if you will. You don't want it to be just a flat dome on the top here. So we're just trying to angle this thing down. Like so. I totally just missed that jump. That's okay. Scaffold up on this side. We're going to have a nice web of scaffold all the way around this guy. Okay, I don't hate it, but let me be candid here. I'm not in love with it. I gotta kind of keep playing with this a little bit to make this the shape that I want. I like the general shape so far. Maybe I need to add some more height in some of these other corners here. Let's check out this side profile of this thing. Okay, not exactly what I intended, but we're not done yet. We're definitely not done yet. I don't like that. That's gotta go. But I like this downward slope, and we just got to uphill over here. Okay, let's uphill this side. Maybe we'll get rid of that and that, and this looks like a good place maybe just for a full block, actually, now that I think about it. And then maybe we even step up some stairs. Okay, let's try some stairs there. Into a slab deal. All right, all right. Into another slab. It should be 3 wide. It should be a 3x3 box. So that's too high. And that's too low. Let's go ahead by just closing it off with that. And for the final release, you know what? I'm actually kind of pleased with that. I think it does a very good job being tall and mushroomy. The cap kind of drooping off to the side, but also being tall and pointy. I'm actually super impressed. Let's get some different angles of this thing, just to make sure we like the way it's coming out here. Oh, it's looking really good from this angle. Check that out. That is pretty darn cool. It's hard to see the transition sometimes from the warped wood to the terracotta, but I think all in all, it's looking pretty good. We just got to cap the small end down here, which means I need to go get some more purple terracotta and some of crimson stem. Okay, we're back and we're ready for the final mushroom cap of our first custom mushroom. Now, these things do take a ton of time. I'm actually going to make this one a little smaller because it looks like it might run into that one over there. We don't want the caps touching each other. So for this one, I'm just going to go with something super small and simple. And there we are. In all of its glory, the small cap is done. There's some extra little bits here kind of going on that I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of, but since this is a smaller variation to the larger cap, it's really hard to make it any tighter. But I wanted to make it not touch across that diagonal, and I think I've done a pretty good job at maintaining a little bit of distance. But it looks really good from quite a few of these angles, especially right here where you can see the daylight all the way through. I think this came out fantastic, and I've got some extra details that we're gonna try out here, and I'm not sure what's gonna happen. So I had to go get some more crimson wood, and in doing so I ended up with a bunch of these weeping vines. Now I'm not sure how these are gonna look, but it might be interesting if we can just have a few vines growing off of each of these guys, but you gotta find out where they're gonna grow from. Clearly nowhere around that one. But let's go up here and see if we can get some more of these guys growing off this big mushroom cap. We know they'll grow off the insides on these bits. So I think that's where we're going to put them all. No, those are all slabs. That's all slabs. So I think that's actually going to be the remainder of those. And hopefully when they grow down, they look super cool. Not sure what's going to happen. And we can trim them off if we don't like them. But if we can get them to droop a little bit, maybe cap them with a string, I think they'll look pretty nice. Well, that's gonna do it for us today. So I appreciate you all coming and hanging out. Since you're still here hanging out, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, share with your friends, and leave some kind words in the comments down below. Also, let me know, what do you guys think of our first custom vegetation build here in the biosphere? And furthermore, what do we think of this? There is some spawn issues. We're having some goss, some magma cubes, and some other we probably should not leave our super fancy box of iron just hanging about. That would be very unfortunate. But let me know what you guys think. I think it turned out quite all right, and I have many more plants, some different color variations, and some other types of plants as well. So leave your comments down below what you think and any suggestions moving forward. So without further ado, as always, stay beautiful, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.